There is a weight printed on the oil cap of every 3.5 EcoBoost truck Ford has built since 2011. And after years of watching these engines come through my shop with failed cam phasers, cold start rattles that turned into 5-figure repair bills, and owners who did everything right by the book Ford handed them, I can tell you that weight is not on that cap because Ford's engineers decided it was the best oil for your engine. That number is there because the first spec they printed turned out to be wrong, and the second one most quick lube shops still put in anyway. The 3.5 EcoBoost is not a simple engine. It has 4 cam phasers, twin turbos spinning at over 150,000 revolutions per minute, and a direct injection system that does something to your oil that Ford's service interval was never designed to account for. When those 3 things combine with the wrong viscosity on an extended interval, the failure sequence is predictable, it is documented, and it is expensive in a way that makes every correct oil change look like a bargain by comparison. The SPEC history alone should tell you something. When Ford launched the 3.5 EcoBoost in 2011, the oil cap said 5W20. Before that model year was finished, Ford had changed the specification to 5W30. They did not issue a press release. They did not send letters to owners. They changed the cap and moved on. The reason experienced mechanics agree on is this. 5W20 in a turbocharged direct injection engine dilutes with fuel from the crankcase and thins down to something closer to a 10 weight by the time the oil life monitor calls for a change. 5W30 diluted down to roughly 20 weight, which was where Ford apparently wanted the viscosity to land at operating temperature all along. To understand why that matters so much, you need to understand what a cam phaser actually does and how completely it depends on the oil you put in this engine. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and let's continue. Each of the 3.5 EcoBoost's 4 camshafts has a phaser mounted on its end. The phaser is a hydraulic actuator. It rotates the camshaft relative to the crankshaft position using pressurized oil, adjusting valve timing in real time based on what the engine control module commands. More advance for power, more retard for economy. The system works continuously while the engine runs. Inside each phaser is a locking pin. At cold start, before oil pressure builds, that spring-loaded pin holds the cam at a fixed timing position. The moment oil pressure comes up, it pushes against the pin, disengages it, and the phaser begins operating. The entire system is calibrated around a specific oil viscosity because viscosity directly controls how fast pressure builds, how cleanly the pin disengages, and whether the phaser can hold timing position under load. Here is where the spec history stops being a coincidence and starts being a pattern. The most common description of early cam phaser failure is a cold start rattle, a loud knocking that sounds like marbles in a tin can for 2 to 5 seconds after startup. That noise is the locking pin failing to disengage cleanly. Oil pressure is building too slowly, or the oil is too thin to generate adequate pressure at idle before the phaser begins trying to move. The phaser slaps against its travel stops. The sound fades once pressure builds. The damage does not. And every shop that works on these engines has seen the same progression. The rattle appears, the owner waits because it fades after a few seconds, the rattle gets louder, timing codes appear, P0011, P0014, P0016, and then the repair estimate arrives. At a dealership in 2026, CAM phaser replacement on the 3.5 EcoBoost runs $3,500 to over $5,000. The job requires pulling the front timing cover, disconnecting both turbos, draining coolant, and accessing components that overlap with the water pump and timing chain. The parts kit alone, revised phasers, chains, guides, tensioners, is $500 to $900. The rest is labor, and on this engine, there is a lot of it. I had a customer come in about a year ago, a 2018 F-150 with the 3.5 EcoBoost, 63,000 miles. He had done every oil change close to schedule, always full synthetic. He came in for the cold start rattle. We pulled codes P0014 on both exhaust phasers. The VCT solenoid screens were partially varnished from extended intervals, and the phaser wear was confirmed on the bench. The repair was just under $4,000. He had not been running the wrong oil. He had been running it too long between changes, and the fuel dilution that accumulates in a direct injection engine had thinned that oil well below its rated grade before he ever brought it in. The cold start rattle is not just a noise, it is a countdown. And the interval between when that rattle starts and when the repair bill changes categories is shorter than most owners think. Fuel dilution is the part Ford's service schedule does not account for. Direct injection engines spray fuel directly into the combustion chamber at high pressure. During cold starts and short trips where the engine never fully warms, a portion of that fuel escapes past the piston rings and enters the crankcase. The turbos compound it, boost pressure, and heat drive more blow-by. A 5W30 full synthetic running in a working EcoBoost for 7 to 10,000 miles can dilute down to behave like a 5W20 or thinner. If you are already starting with 5W20 because a quick lube shop grabbed the wrong jug, you are running something closer to a 10 weight at the cam phasers at the end of every interval, exactly when they need viscosity the most. Here is the part that should reframe everything. Ford knew the 5W20 spec was inadequate for this engine before the first model year was finished. They changed it. But they did not back-specify the change aggressively, they did not notify owners who had already taken delivery, and the institutional reason experts point to is the same one that kept 5W20 on naturally aspirated Ford engines for decades. Every fraction of viscosity drop is worth fractions of a mile per gallon on a government fuel economy test. Ford needed every fraction they could get. The EcoBoost itself was partially a fuel economy play, turbocharged efficiency from a smaller displacement. Running a thicker oil at launch cost them fractions on the CAFE spreadsheet. So they launched with 5WW20, watched what the oil analysis showed, and changed the spec quietly when the data was undeniable. Ford issued TSB 21N03, a customer satisfaction program covering cam phaser failures in 2017 through 2020 F-150, Expedition, and Navigator models. Effectively a recall. Warranty coverage extended for the repair. 2015 and 2016 owners were excluded. And then some owners who got phasers replaced under the program came back with the same rattle because the shop installed the original HL3 series parts instead of the re-engineered ML series phasers that became OEM starting around 2020. So here's exactly what to do before you hit 60,000 miles. First, confirm you are running 5W30 full synthetic that meets Ford specification WSSM 2C961A1. That spec is printed on the label or in the product data sheet. Motorcraft Full Synthetic, Pennzoil Platinum, Mobil 1 Extended Performance, Castrol Edge, and Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic all carry this approval. If your shop defaulted to 5W20 because that is what most Fords take, pull the receipt, confirm the weight, and don't let it happen again. Second, tighten your interval. 5,000 miles is the ceiling under normal driving. If you tow, run short trips, or drive in cold weather where fuel dilution accelerates, 4,000 is safer. The Oil Life Monitor does not measure viscosity, it does not detect fuel dilution, and it was not calibrated for a turbocharged direct injection engine running under load. It was calibrated for convenience. Follow the mileage, not the monitor. Third, if you own a Gen 1 3.5, from 2011 through 2016 without port injection, a catch can on the PCV system is the most cost-effective thing you can add. It intercepts oil vapor before it re-enters the intake, reduces what cycles back into the crankcase, and slows both fuel dilution and intake valve carbon buildup. JLT and Mishimoto both make confirmed fit options for the F-150 application. The 3.5 EcoBoost is still a great engine. The ones that last are maintained by owners who understand what the engine actually needs, not what the oil cap said the year it launched. If you want to see what used oil analysis from a 3.5 actually shows at 5,000 versus 10,000 mile intervals, that data video is already in progress. Subscribe so you don't miss it when the numbers come in. Drop a comment with your year and generation and whether you have ever had phaser work done. I read every one of them. I'll see you in the next one.